You've probably heard of it, right? The whole eating fish on Friday thing. Maybe you even grew up with it. But behind what seems like a simple custom is a story that's nearly 2,000 years old, a story about faith and sacrifice. So, what's it really all about? Let's get into it. So, let's just ask the question head on. Why fish? And why specifically Friday? Is this just some old, random rule that nobody bothered to get rid of? Well, the answer is way more profound than you might think. It's got layers of history and meaning that we're about to peel back.
Okay, so to even understand the food, you've got to understand the day itself. In the Christian tradition, the week isn't just a collection of days, it has a rhythm, a spiritual pulse. And Friday, well, Friday holds a very special, very solemn place. Think about it like this. In the Christian week, Sunday is the big celebration. It's the Lord's Day, right? A mini Easter, celebrating the resurrection. It's all about feasting and joy. But Friday is its spiritual mirror image. It's the day of the cross, a weekly reminder of the crucifixion, a day set aside for penance and for remembering. And listen, this is not a recent idea, not at all. This practice is ancient. I'm talking 1st century. There's a Christian text from that time called the Didache, kind of like an early church manual, and it already instructed believers to mark Friday with reverence. So this goes all the way back. So Friday is a day for penance. But what does that word even mean? Because I think a lot of us hear penance and we think punishment. But that's not the idea here. It's viewed more like medicine for the soul. It's about voluntarily giving up something good to help you refocus on the ultimate good, which is God. Okay, so we've established Friday is for penance. That brings us right back to the food. Why give up meat? And of all things, why is fish the classic substitute? Well, it all comes down to symbolism.
You have to put yourself in the mindset of the time. Historically, meat, think beef, lamb, that was party food. It was expensive, the kind of thing you ate at a feast or a big celebration. So giving it up for a day was a real, tangible sacrifice. Fish, on the other hand, was common, simple, the food of everyday people. So you're swapping a food of earthly celebration for one that represents something much deeper.
And this is so crucial. Choosing fish isn't about finding a clever loophole in the no meat rule. It's not about getting away with something. The substitution itself is the whole point. It's a conscious choice to embrace simplicity over celebration for a day.
And here it is. This is the big aha moment in the story. For the early Christians, who were often persecuted, the simple fish became a secret symbol. The Greek word for fish, ichthys, was also an acrostic. Each letter stood for a word in the phrase, Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. So eating fish on the very day they remembered the crucifixion, it wasn't just about what they were giving up. It was a powerful, secret symbol of who they were remembering. How cool is that? Now, of course, like any tradition that's been around for 2 millennia, the specific rules they've evolved. So let's take a quick look at how this ancient practice has been adapted for the world we live in today.
The core idea has been there from the beginning. For centuries, not eating meat on any Friday of the year was a really strict rule. But the biggest modern shift happened in 1966. That's when the church basically gave local leaders the flexibility to adapt the practice, recognizing that the world had changed.
So where does that leave us today? Well, in most parts of the world, the requirement for some kind of penance on Friday is still on the books. Giving up meat is the traditional and still strongly recommended way to do it. But you can substitute another sacrifice instead. The huge exception here, and this is key, is during the season of Lent. On Ash Wednesday and every Friday in Lent, that old-school mandatory abstinence from meat is still in full effect.
But really, this whole thing is about so much more than just sticking to the rules. It's about finding this incredibly deep spiritual meaning in a totally ordinary act. Someone once called it a sermon on a plate, and I think that just nails it.
So, what's that sermon about? It really boils down to 3 big spiritual ideas. First, solidarity. When you choose to eat a simple meal, you're connecting, in a small way, with the poor who eat simply every day. Second, detachment. It's a small workout in self-control. And third, it's about rhythm. It helps you actually live out that weekly spiritual drama, the sacrifice of Friday leading to the celebration of Sunday.
I just love that phrase. You are preaching a sermon with your fork. It completely reframes it, doesn't it? Suddenly, your choice at lunch isn't just about what you're hungry for. It becomes this small, quiet, but powerful statement of what you believe, a sermon without saying a single word.
And this gets to the heart of why you do it. It's like building a muscle. The idea is that if you train your soul to practice self-denial in the small things, like passing on a burger one day a week, you're actually building up your spiritual strength. You're preparing yourself to handle the much bigger moral choices life is going to throw at you. Okay, let's hit a couple of common questions. What if you swap a simple burger for, say, an expensive lobster dinner? I mean, lobster isn't meat, right? Well, that pretty much misses the entire point of simplicity and sacrifice. And what if you have allergies or dietary restrictions? The spirit of the law matters way more than the letter. Another form of penance is totally fine.
And that really sums it all up. This tradition isn't some legalistic puzzle you're supposed to solve. You're not trying to find a loophole. The whole entire point is to use it as a tool, as a little weekly nudge to turn your heart away from yourself and back towards God.
And so, that piece of fish on your plate becomes something so much more than just a meal. It's meant to be a tangible sign, a small, physical act of love and remembrance. A little something you offer up in response to the ultimate sacrifice that Christians remember on that day. A really simple meal, but, as we've seen, a truly profound story.